So the glamour of walking Land's End to John O'Groats, or John O'Groats to Land's End.
And can you trust that you won't blow away in the wind?
Morning, Michelle.
Morning.
We're getting a brew going. It's our first night before the rain comes. It looks like rain's coming in again, look. So the glamour of walking Land's End to John O'Groats, or John O'Groats to Land's End. Look at us. Bloody rain. It's never going to stop raining. This is our second day of walking. We haven't even got to John O'Groats yet, and which is going to be our start point. We were pretty tired yesterday. Only did about 7 or 8 kilometres. Today we've got, if we could, about 7 times that. But
Feel okay actually once I got the bag on.
yeah, it feels okay.
Yeah, I wasn't too achy this morning, but I was wondering what it's going to feel like once I put the bag on, but it's okay.
But I ate yesterday.
Yeah, oh gosh.
When we took these off, we could barely move. Legs were really heavy, like ever so difficult to walk. Every step was starting to count. And today we started packing the tent up because it looked like it wasn't going to be rainy. By the time we packed it up, this lot came. Anyway, there's no turning back. Would you believe it? We got a lift. I stuck my thumb out hoping something would happen, but this lovely couple, Caroline and Kenny, do you want to say hello, you two?
Hi.
All right. And Dexter. Hello, Dexter. Hello, fella. How are you?
We've made it.
We've made it. We haven't made it. We're at the start. Here's the sign. Everyone's getting their photographs taken here. This is John O'Groats, and it's beautiful, but there's a lot of people
There
here.
are.
Just met a lad who's cycling down to Land's End. There's this lovely little harbour here. A few sort of little indications of what this place would have been at one time, or still is. I guess it's still a fishing port, but it's quite touristic. But it's nice.
Nice.
I think Michelle and I are going to be setting off along this coast
I think so.
path here,
This
though
path that way.
we don't know for sure.
Well, there's a finish line and the start, so we'll have to go and officially start at the start
Okay,
line.
all right, we will do. We'll get that photograph for you all a little bit later on, and we might do a little live stream from around here as well. Don't know where
We
we're
can
going
chill
to.
now we got here. This was a bit of a...
We were so lucky to get picked up by these two. We're just talking.
We've done the first photo.
Thank you, guys.
That's all right, no bother.
So Caroline and Kenny just met us again, and they want to give us water. Make sure we've got enough water for the walk today. Ever so sweet. They're looking after us. Anyway, we'll go and use the facilities here, the bathrooms, and then we'll just have a little sit down. I saw some picnic benches down the end there. We'll probably sit and do a bit of planning. There's no hurry today.
No, there's no hurry, so we're not going to go far. That's us.
That's us. That's another name for the Land's End John O'Groats walk, end to end.
Land's End.
We've got a rock to leave somewhere, haven't we?
Where'd you put it?
We've got a rock. We found a little stone in the woods. We're going to leave it somewhere. We'll probably leave it on the track
Yes.
because we've lost it and we don't want to unpack to find it. Feels heavier now with this stuff in, Michelle. Is yours?
Yep. You got some food in it.
Got some food in. Quite a bit of food, but it feels a lot heavier. So we're through. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to look for someone to camp just the other side of this bush here. Woohoo! We're off. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. If ever there was.
The whiz there was. If ever the whiz there was.
So I think we go up that little rocky side there.
How do we go along?
We're about 200 metres in. Michelle and I are looking for somewhere to camp.
I've got something attached to me.
It's a wasp.
A wasp likes me.
We are stocked up on all sorts. We got a little bit too much liquid with us. So it's not going to be a walk in the country. It's not going to be the sort of open grassy path, I thought, Michelle. Anyway,
Well, in places, and it's better than the road.
only 999.9 miles to go. Now there's mistake number one. We came along here and we could have come across here, which would have been a darn sight easier.
These are the signs we've got to look out for, but southbound.
Okay. Will they have southbound signs?
I believe so. I've got to get used to the cliff edges. And that wasn't a cliff. Oh yes, walking the park.
Everything's a baptism of fire on this journey. I thought for a moment, my Lord, we're not going to be too happy in 3 or 4 miles if it's all like this, but you know, it is what it is. It'll probably turn back to that very shortly. In fact, I think it is just about to. So that little pathway was very short-lived. We are back to up and downs along the coast. Now this is quite jarring when you're carrying, you know, 15, 16, probably actually, to be honest, because we've just bought a lot of groceries, I'm closer to 20 kilos, which is not a good weight to be carrying. Michelle's probably up near about 17, maybe even a little more. It's too much, but we were a bit wary. Somebody had said there wouldn't be many places to buy food along this route, and we can't afford to run out of energy. So I bought enough food for at least maybe 2 or 3 days. I think we'll start looking in the first couple of hours for somewhere to pitch up, because it's already about maybe 4 o'clock in the evening. So we won't want to be walking too late. And it does every night this week. It has rained in the late evening. This looks like a good spot to stop, Michelle. We're about 45 minutes in.
A little bit more, I think. A little bit more.
As long as we keep the Scottish Ocean to our left. I know it's not the name, but I'm going to call it the Scottish Ocean. As long as we keep the Scottish Ocean to our left, we'll be fine. I'm not sure if that's an exact science, whether that's orientation 101. We should have a look at our GPS at some point. So that there was Ryan, whose father owns all this land apparently, and he said that we're not allowed to wild camp anywhere along here. He just came across to tell us, to let us know that we mustn't wild camp. So that was nice of him. But why he came nearly a mile across the field just to tell us we weren't allowed to wild camp, I have no idea. And while he was there on his old quad bike, I rested my hand on his bike and he said, "Will you take your hand off my bike, please, with the coronavirus?" You've seen it all. You see it all. It's a sad world we live in, where a farmer's son has to cross a field on a quad bike to tell someone not to camp on the coastland. Not that we were going to be camping just yet, but we might. And to be honest, if we want to, we will.
It's your skin. And can you trust that you won't blow away in the wind? And do you tether your hopes or let go of the ropes in the hope that you someday descend? Just follow the road, the blood in your veins like a track for the trains.
So we can see people walking up there. We've seen some people walking down here. We're going up the middle. We're not 100% sure if we're on the right route or not. I haven't seen a marking, but I think we're heading in the right direction. Famous last words. so obviously the farmers around here are all a bit grouchy. I understand, I know the argument, a few people spoil it for everyone, but you guys are custodians of a lot of land, and you're very, very lucky to have it. Very lucky to have it. And while you do have it, maybe you should be a little more considerate of the rest of the people who own this land as well. You know, I don't see quite how any one person has the right to these wildlands. Give them facilities to get rid of their waste and educate them. This beautiful rugged land, it shouldn't belong to any one person. It certainly shouldn't belong to Ryan's father. It looks along here like you could camp anywhere, but when you step onto that heather, it's really deep and wet and boggy underneath. But yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to find a place to stop here. It's a shame because the stacks, Duncanby stacks. We just met a couple from Norway. Living in Surrey, but they're actually just pitched their tent up on the nice little spot there in the heather. So Michelle and I have to find our own little spot. We need to stop soon, get ourselves. We're actually feeling fine, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. We just had a banana, and that's given me the energy to go a bit further. So that's good.
Absolutely, yeah. Banana is like released some extra sugars into us, magnesium, and we're sort of raring to go again. But we do need to stop because it's probably about 6 o'clock or so, maybe 7. What time did we set off?
I don't know, but we've come quite a way.
We've come quite a way. Let's have a quick look. It's 6:08, so we've probably been walking for a couple of hours.
Can love exist unexpressed, with no way to show it to you in the flesh?
You've really overdone it again. Overdone it.
Till it leads you
Absolutely
back home.
knackered.
You'll find that the answer is yes.